Hey y'all, I cannot believe another month has passed. I'm 4 months on testosterone. To be honest, this month kicked my ass. Spent a lot of it just super dysphoric. I think it's like, as the lockdown in the UK sort of eases a little bit, and as I spend more time like out of the house and with more people, I'm also spending more time with people who like don't know me, and so I'm spending more time getting misgendered, which sucks. But other than that, I'm like, holy shit, you know, I'm like a third of the way into this year of documenting monthly what's going on. But I think also that I'm already 4 months in and people still think I'm a girl. I'm trying not to get too angsty about it because like I know it's just part of the deal. Little known fact, sometimes being transgender is not actually that fun. That said, I'm really grateful to be on this treatment. I think it's just one of those moments where it's been a bit over a year, in fact, that I've been out. And I think that when I was experiencing really bad dysphoria and like, my voice is cracking. When I was experiencing really bad like dysphoria and anxiety this time last year, kind of in my head, I was like, oh, like if I could just get on hormones, like, oh, like when I finally get on hormones, you know, and it was like this big goalpost for me, and then all my problems will be solved. And I knew from the get-go that that wasn't gonna be how it was. But I guess looking back on a year of that end goal, I guess, being just getting the hormones, because that felt so far out of reach at the beginning, now I'm like, oh man, like there's still so much more to go. It's like when you're, I don't know, swimming across a lake and you think you're halfway when you're only like a quarter of the way through, and then you get, you know, a third of the way through and you're like, oh, now I'm like surely more than halfway, and then you get actually halfway and you're just like, God, you know, when you see the shore on the other side, you know, you see like, I guess I don't necessarily know what my goal is. I don't know what the shore on the other side is, and I've definitely been not treading water. I've been swimming further. I've been crossing distance. I have been making progress. Over the course of 4 months, so much has changed, but like, I guess things are just, I just realizing that there's a lot more water to go. All in all, I would say rough month, but I'm feeling super grateful at the same time as being quite frustrated and a bit, I don't know, just a bit less happy-go-lucky about the whole thing this month. I guess it's just getting used to it, you know? It's like, oh, okay, I don't know what I'm supposed to look like every like 3 weeks. Let's begin, top to bottom. So my hair is just, it's hella fucking long. My hairline has stayed the same, nothing new. My skin, it's just moved around. Like usually, like back before getting on testosterone, I would have acne like here, and it's all just sort of moved lower. So like now, like I've always got something going on here. I feel like I don't know, I think there's something going on, like just with like where my eyeballs are sitting in my face and like things like that. Like my face is just sort of reconfiguring itself in a funny way, but I'm happy with that. That's been really nice. I think my jaw has stayed pretty much the same as last month. I don't think there's any movement on that, maybe a little bit, but nothing that I can be like, oh yeah, that's a big one. Oh my gosh, I don't think you're gonna be able to see this, but there's like, the hair follicles on my face that were already there are like bearing thicker fruit. You're probably not going to be able to tell. I actually, last week, like shaved my face because it was like probably only perceptible to me and definitely was helpful in alleviating some of my dysphoric symptoms. Just shaving my face as a, like just a thing to do. But also I recognize that genuinely like the hair that was already on my face is a little bit thicker and a little bit darker. Definitely not in a place where I want to see what happens if I leave it alone. So I'm just gonna keep shaving. I think it's like really common in transmasculine people, like the second you can start growing facial hair, you do start doing this sort of like pubescent rat boy shit, and I am totally here for it and I love it, but I also sort of want to wait until my facial hair looks like actually good to like grow it properly. So yeah, we'll be shaving for some time to come, but it was really nice to see, like, you know, it is pretty much just peach fuzz, but it's a little bit spicier peach fuzz, and I'm happy about that. I sort of said it in the beginning of the video that, like, I don't know, mentally it's been a bit of a doozy this month. Sort of like more teen angst vibes, you know what I mean? I think that's like the stage in puberty that I'm at right now, where it's like my immediate instinct to anything that is like mildly frustrating or irksome is just sort of like a little bit extreme in comparison to usual. Like my temper is just a little bit worse, and it's not that I feel like really mad or something like that, but it's just like my response is just 0 to 100 so quickly, and I was already kind of like that, so this is just a little bit much. So I'm trying to like keep a lid on that. I just want to like just like kick shit and like just like give up on things and just sort of like be like, oh, like fuck it, like anything goes wrong and I'm just sort of like, ah. The difference between me and a teenage boy is I see myself doing that and I go, that was pretty juvenile. You know, I'm at least on some level like fairly aware of what I'm doing and what's going on and like what the normal mature response to what I'm doing would be, and sometimes I can like sort of steer myself back in that direction, but sometimes I'm like, you know what, let's just say something snarky instead. I think my voice has gotten a little bit deeper. I think it's mostly textural, as in like my voice is a bit raspier and like I'm getting more comfortable with it sitting a little bit lower. Like before, I think I would just speak with more of my upper register, and now it's sitting like here, whereas before I think it used to sit like here, which I can still do completely comfortably. It's just like, I think I just naturally sort of stay here, and that's comfortable. My singing voice has also definitely gotten lower. I posted a little something something on my Instagram, just like of a Frank Ocean cover that I did with the prickly pears. Shout out to my pears in like 2018, in comparison to like where I'm singing it now. When I used to sing that song with the band, I would sing it, I think like between 2 and 4 semitones up. I don't actually remember. But now I'm singing it in Frank's original key, and that feels good. I'm finding that with a lot of songs that I used to cover, or that I have always enjoyed covering, I would used to always transpose them up, and now I can do them in their original key. Something that I don't love, but is actually probably good in the long run, is that I think my speaking voice is naturally a little bit quieter than it was, or like it takes a lot more work to get my usual volume out. Anyone who has met me in person knows that I speak with an incredibly loud speaking voice, and it is genuinely quite annoying. And this is not to say that my voice is quiet now. I think it's like broaching normal human levels, but still quite loud. But I don't know, I think I'm just like sort of pushing for my usual volume, which I don't need to do. Like, it never needed to be that loud in the first place, but I'm catching myself sort of like pushing sound out more. And then but like having a naturally quieter voice, I'm like, it's so weird not kind of having it blaring in my eardrums and the eardrums of people around me. So I try to compensate, but I really shouldn't. I should actually just let it be quieter and like give that a try. I think it might be nice. Throughout month 5, that's gonna be the experiment. I'll report back next month with how that goes. I'm not binding today, so like watch me get really uncomfortable right now. But I think it's worth it to just note that like I think Christ, this is horrible. Well, okay, here's the thing. I'm just gonna try and like, I think that pretty much everything has stayed the same anyways. Again, I didn't work out. I think I actually put on a little bit of weight, but that was just, I don't know why. I don't know. There's definitely more hair. Also, I've developed, okay, I don't know what that's about. I've developed a new role. I used to only have like one roll here and one roll here. Have I lost weight? Have I gained weight? Is this muscle? What is this actually here? Like that's developed this new, there's a whole new roll. I don't know what that is. I think I'm like the same level. I've definitely lost curve, but I don't think I've lost any this month. There's hella hair. Oh my gosh. Guys, you just witnessed me finding lint in my belly button for the first time. Listen, when I've got the diploma in hand, we can have a conversation about how much I've been exercising. But as it stands, your boy is trying to get his bachelor's degree. And that is why I am still so scrawny. Bottom growth continues. Slower this month. I think it's been quite constant in comparison to previous months where it was like quite drastic. But yeah, I think it has still grown a little bit down there. Still no period. I think there was a point in this month where, like, it would have, like, if I wasn't on testosterone, my period would have come in this, like, a span of, like, maybe 4 to 6 days where I was in hella abdominal pain, and just sort of really sensitive. I think my body was a little bit confused for about a week, and possibly a period would have come in that time if I hadn't been on T. I'm trying to think. Oh yeah, like my sex drive has sort of calmed down. I think that's also dysphoria though. Like I'm just like, I don't know, my body, I just like, I think it's, you know, when you're like 13 and your body's like changing and you're like, why do you look like that? And I feel like maybe that's what's happening just again, and just like, I don't know. Well, I think like overall I would say that this month was a bit of a quite a wild ride. Like my brain was sort of all over the damn place. My body was just a bit confused. Like the seasons are changing. I think that's probably contributing. Needing to finish my degree is probably contributing. I mean, it's been a long time since I saw my family as well, and my partner because of COVID and everything like that. So I think that's also probably like, I don't know, I feel like there's a lot of stuff in the mix right now. I don't know how much I can attribute to testosterone. I just feel a bit turbulent. I hope I report back next month with a haircut and just like a more peaceful vibe going, because I'm very tired. Thank you for tuning in as always. I very much appreciate having this vlog, not just for myself to like document, you know, each month. Part of me wanted to sort of like sugarcoat the impact that this month had on me, but I thought that it would be important to document sort of the low moments in this journey just as much as the high points. So I'm going to try and stay, you know, honest in my reporting as much as possible. So thank you for being here for that, and I will see you next month. As usual, any questions, just let your boy know. Oh, another thing, mild correction from last video. I said I didn't have gonads. That's not true. I do have gonads. I just have female gonads. Those are the ovaries. So I don't have the gonads that would produce testosterone. That is what I was trying to say. Thank you to the person who clarified that for me. Yeah. I study drama. I'm not meant to be literate or